Prem Pati Mahadeva ki Jai. Sitaram everybody, and welcome to our first night of Shiv Gyan Yagna. This is the first night of 5 nights as we are on the run up to the Shivratri. That Shivratri that is on Monday night. Remember what it represents, the night, the time of Mahadev. And in that night, in that time, the literal meaning Ratri, for some would say night, but Sanskrit wise it means time, because after 12 o'clock we're coming into the morning hour. As people would worship lingams in their homes, those that will be the temples, communal worship. What happens that night? What's the big deal? Because there's a monthly Shivratri. The Mahashivratri is the night when Mahadev Baba splits himself into all the lingam, into all the forms. And when a person goes and does the worship there, it is a more potent energy we are worshipping. That night yields more, 10 times fold the results, the benefit, the punyam. So the godly Hindu makes the effort on that night, and there are many discourses that deal and illustrates the power and the blessings to doing that. In these 5 nights as we go forward, the goal, the objective is to illustrate, to inspire, to show why you want to do that worship. How should you be to calm and to calm the mind, as it were, as we get set to receive Shiv Baba, to do his worship. Because, let's be fair, and I'm talking to all my young people and those people that are young at heart, we could be sitting in the temple, we could be by the Bedi. Be fair with me. And the Pandita, they put sinur, you'll put the sinur. Agreed. But I don't know why I put in sinur, be fair. I don't know why I'm doing this for. I don't even want to do this. My mother made me come. Be honest, devotees, tonight, at the very onset of our prayer. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Let me say that again. Bad things happen to good people. So you will find people say, well, I do prayers, I did fasting, and nothing has changed in my life. Nothing happened. Things are not going good. And we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. Sometimes people use that as an excuse not to pray. It is a deterrent. Because things are not going good, I'm not in the mood for prayers. Have you ever said that? Have you ever heard somebody say that? Tonight, if you're viewing, comment, leave me a message. Come on, do you agree? Have you ever heard people say that? Me ain't in the mood for prayers, Pandit. I didn't get the job. I can't pay the light bill. The kids are not listening to me. Somebody died. Somebody's sick. Whatever is the case, we sometimes make excuses why we don't want to pray. And that isn't for Hindu alone. Sometimes you see that in all religion. You have to get something to excuse your behavior. But just like the lottery, if you don't buy that ticket, if you don't claim and do some good to see change, there's never going to be change. You will have to live with that every day. What that mean? What is the purpose of your prayer? If somebody said to me tonight, well, Baba, I really don't get it, I miss the whole point. Why do I have to bathe the lingam? Why do I have to offer flowers, puja? Why is this diya light in here? What is the point of all these things? First point tonight, I'm letting out the secret here. Please pay attention. There are different forms of karma. Let me introduce the word parabdha karma. Parabdha karma is the karma we are coming with from our past life. That karma makes us a rich person, poor person, male, female, healthy, sickly person. That karma makes us get married or allows us to have children, boy, girl, good children, naughty children, greedy children, ungrateful children, good job, bad job, money in your pocket, hole in your pants pocket. These things come from that parabdha karma. Now, this is the question. When things are happening in your life, do you just say, okay, bad things are happening, that's my karma, I'm going to have to accept my karma, I'm going to see it and take it. And when it comes to minor things, let's say the tomatoes choke or burn or something like that, I could go with that, that's minor. But when it comes to life and limb, one doctor told me the other day, he says it's not a matter about the fight in this life, it's not about living alone, it's how you live. Because when this stop working and that stop working, people have problems. When their eyes go, when their foot goes, when their heart is going, but you're living, you could be alive. What kind of life is that? When you see people, sometimes when we go to the hospital to pray, and you see people regardless of what walk of life, regardless of their financial or their name or status, and they are in trouble, when you see them there, do you accept karma? Or did anybody in your family contract this virus and you said, dear God, spare their life? But suppose, my dear friends, work with me, see it in your mind, suppose that was their karma. Suppose they had to die or suffer. Suppose the person has to go through all toils and pains, all sorts of tribulation. But don't you catch yourself at some point, dear God, Madhu Baba, dear Lord, please render some assistance. What's the logic of that? And another word tonight, praschit karma, different type of karma. So praschit karma, that type of activity that serves to repent, forgive. For what I did before, in my last life I did bad and today I'm seeing trouble for it. Dear God, I'm doing good now. To ask for you to relieve me of that punishment that I had given. So a person has health problems, financial problems, their body is being beaten. For example, it says in Puran, you kick the cow. In your next life, that foot you used to kick, that foot is going to have problem. That foot is not going to work. Maybe the person is born with a twisted or a lost or a damaged limb or something like that. Now I am doing goodly work. Dear God, please change my karma. May the limb heal. Save the foot in case of people who have to do amputation, etc. In this way, there's a balancing act, but all karma. And this is the relevance. And why am I saying this now? This is why you pray. This is where you take control of your destiny. Yes, if anybody, you made the mistake. And for that now I have punishment or reward. But I don't like what I am facing. You know, Saraswati Mata, I have to face the SKSA exam and I am not doing too well. Please accept my prayer, accept my fasting, and change my karma. If I was supposed to pass with the C-level school, put me to the A-level school. Dear Lord, I'm supposed to go for a surgery, and I'm not supposed to be successful. Accept my dar, accept my diya, accept my prayer, and change my karma, so that I would now become successful. Haven't you ever found yourself, think what I'm saying, I want you to understand the role of your prayer. Many people messaged me last week and said, Baba, but I don't understand the correlation between my karma and my prayer. What could I do to help myself? Think about what we do. When you sit in your prayer room, when you sit in your vehicle in the traffic, God, you give me $5 in my pocket. Thank you for it. Thank you. That person who has gratitude, thank you. But could you please accept, if it is just the prayer, the bhajan, the love, the language of love from my heart, and change that $5 into $50? I have a bill for the child. In this way, maybe on a daily basis, maybe moment to moment as the scenario change. Dear God, hold the weather. Dear God, move the traffic. Dear God, bless the child to reach the school. Dear God, bless them to reach home from school. And like that, that activated devotee is always in conversation with God, reminiscent of what's in Gita. In all that you have going on, we are supposed to be in contact with that invisible divinity that aids us in this life. There are many discourses that explain that illustrate that. I'm sure you could list some for me. But tonight, we begin with our prayer. We're going to pray. If you cheat, Baba would know. They'd be fair. Pandit wouldn't know. But in Puran, it says Yamraj has his recorder, Chitra and Gupta, two little balls of energy sitting here that record your good and your bad. They record all your deeds so that when it is time to look at the karma of the person, good and bad is going to be balanced. Here comes an opportunity. Believe me, not everybody has the opportunity to listen to these discourses. The ones that we're about to deal with tonight and nights to come. The daughter of Lord Shiva, listen good. The third son of Lord Shiva. The Nataraj form of Mahadev Baba, together with Tandav, Stotra and all these things. Wonderful discourses, the secrets of Lord Shiva. I'll present them for you to listen. In Ramayana, when Sabri Devi is listening to Sri Ram, and the discussion of the 9 forms of bhakti is given, Smaranam is that type of bhakti where the person's prayer, maybe we're not together in the temple. And oh, I wish I could jump on that Singhasan and go with these discourses soon. Maybe we are not physically there. But can't I pray? What is bhakti? Bhakti is devotion, yes. In Gita, it's called Bhakti Yoga. Yoga meaning the pathway, the methodology, what I use to get from here to my God. So there are 9 types. Let's deal with one tonight. Smaranam. Smaranam is to remember him. And then you have Shravanam. Shravanam is what we practice in Surrey. Shravanam is when I want to hear. I'm using my ears. This is what I'm offering to him. What is the offering tonight? The sense organ, the ability to listen. What are you offering tonight? What is being given to Mahadev Baba in prayer? What is the gift? God gave us a finite amount of days and nights in this life. He gave you a fixed amount of time that sometimes break down into different things according to karma. In that time, what will you do? Will you build a home? Will you rent? Will you get a job? Will you not get work? Will you have a consort? Will you never have children? What you do in your time? Yes, that is more details. But where does it start? God gives you time. And when you have the karma to be born in a home where you understand the necessity of spending the time with God or in God's service, Seva, Dasanam, Sevanam, other forms of bhakti, then the person is working to making positive karma. Think what I'm saying. In a very simple analogy, God gave you in your 2 hands how many birthday candles you could hold. And what are we doing in prayer? Taking that 1 candle, a piece of a candle. In all fairness, we had 24 hours today. We're going to spend 2 in listening to God's discourse. And in doing it, this type of bhakti, by treading this path, the person is doing praschit karma. They are doing puja. Puja is one thing. Put the sindur, put the chandan, and you get that. You understand. When I do those type of things, I'm going to get reward. I agree. But in similar fashion, listening to his discourse is just as beneficial. This is why the elders used to want to go to the temple and sit down and be in front first, because they want to hear, they want to see everything. They don't want to miss anything. And now we're missing sitting down in prayers together. Tonight, we're going to practice Maranam as we try to take our praschit karma to beat, to change, to better our parabdha karma. So in doing all that we have to do, tonight you may be in the kitchen with your phone. Some people may be driving home. Some people are on the train. Some people are still in the job. Some people are taking up duties. Different people are different places. It doesn't mean stop what you're doing, but incorporate Mahadi Baba in what you are doing. If you're mopping a floor, Lord Shiva, bless this water and bless me to mop this water to the best of my ability. Dear Lord, if you didn't permit me to walk, I couldn't do my job right now. And you find those moments and those areas where you see the gratitude and you practice that gratefulness with Lord Shiva. As we enter into our discourse tonight, we're reading from Lingam Puran. Before we do so, everybody please clasp your hands as we call on Lord Shiva, as we do opening mantras. Tonight, if you're joining me a little late, as we are on Facebook tonight, for those of you looking on after the broadcast on YouTube, please like and subscribe. For those of you on Facebook tonight, please share the satsang. For all members, all relatives, all friends, please. So many people, wherever they are, can benefit from our discourse tonight. Please help me share the satsang. Leave me a comment. Where are you watching from? I'm waiting to hear from you tonight. I'll get back to you later on. Let's join our hands wherever you are. Close your eyes, everybody, for just a little bit. Remember, Chitra and Gupta recording. Whatever you do in these moments, you don't do it for Pandit. You don't do it for my ego. You don't do it for my benefit. You do it for the God. You do that for yourself. You do that as you give him back your energy and your time. In this instance, when we need help, there must be a way to get that help. Tonight, we illustrate that. Let's pray together, everybody. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kabet Jambu Palachara Bhakshitam Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Parapankajam. Mother, tonight we enter into discourse about Shiv Baba. May you give us the energy, may you give us the blessings, the power and the dynamics to listen, to learn and to practice what you all are teaching. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Brahma Murari. As you think of Lord Shiva now, where you are. Brahma Murari Surachitalingam Nirmal Bhashit Shobhitalingam Janma Jadu Kavinashanalingam. Prabhu, the lingam which is worshipped by Brahma, Vishnu and all the devatas, that lingam that is graced and gives illumination by purification. That lingam which destroys, pay attention to this, that lingam which destroys the suffering that comes with this birth, to that Shiva I bow. Tat pranamami sada Shiva lingam Deva Muni Pravavachithalingam Kamadaha Karunakaralingam Ravanadarpa Vinashanalingam Tata Pranamami Sada Shivalingam, the lingam which is worshipped by the devatas, the sages, the lingam which grants desires and creates compassion within the individual, the lingam which takes away the pride of even Ravan, his ego, and the ego of an individual. To that lingam I bow. Sarva Sugandhi Sulepita Lingam Buddhi Vivardhana Karana Lingam Siddha Sura Sura Vandita Lingam Tata Pranamami Sada Shiva Lingam, the lingam which is anointed with all the different attar, all the fragrances, the perfumes in this life, the lingam which causes the person's intellect. When worship is done, the darshan that comes from the lingam allows the person's intellect, their thinking, their ability, their choices to expand and to grow. The lingam which is honored by all the siddhas, gods, even the demons, the daityas, they worship him. To that lingam I bow. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Tonight we'll enter the Lingam Puran. Ling Puran deals not only with Lord Shiva and the Lingam, but it deals with the role that Lord Shiva has to play in many discourses, not only in Lingam related situations. Before we go into that discourse and we take our conversation further, it is now time to chant the Sumiran. It is now time to gain his permission to listen to these discourses. It is where you are claiming your blessings. Your Prarabdha Karma has placed you in an opportunity, in a time, in a moment where you can hear the discourse. By listening to such discourses, lifetimes of paap, mistakes, bad choices are being burnt away. And when that Prarabdha Karma goes, the punishment that we are experiencing, it goes with it. When that negativity is destroyed, what is the purpose? When that Prarabdha Karma, when the record of all the bad karma is destroyed, there's no need for punishment. And the person can be healthy. The person can be happy. The person can have conveniences. Tonight, with this in mind, join your hands, everybody. And in your own mind, in your own language, take the opportunity, touch him, call out to him, and ask him that, dear Lord, I depend on you And when I do my worship, when I do my sadhana, sadhana is another word for the method of worship that you carry out, the means to which you make contact with your God. Some people sing a bhajan, some people will bow to him wherever he is, some people will do his worship, whichever form of bhakti you're practicing. But you cannot have sadhana without good company, satsang. With the company of satsang, sadhana will come. With satsang, with the knowledge that comes from associating with godly people and listening to godly things, like this satsang, then a person is taught how to perform sadhana, how to offer the dara, how to pray, how to talk, how to sing, what to copy, what to emulate. And to copy this is good. Emulate this type of prayer. But without the absorption of satsang. And satsang is not the pundit on a mic talking. Satsang is the company of godly or God activated. God is activated within the people. So that when you lime or you're there around them children, you will become God activated too. That is satsang. Satsang could be on a bench by the sea, yes, on the television, yes, in the temple, all that is satsang. But when mommy is giving a story, that is satsang as well. When daddy is teaching you something about Sri Ram, Devi Mata, that is satsang too. And when you get the opportunity to gape into the form, the wholeness of Mahadev Baba, when you get to see and understand, just as Arjuna is seeing the Mahavirat form of Mahavishnu in Gita, and he's amazed at how many mouths and how many ears and eyes and things that are happening. When the person gains more and more knowledge, another night we'll talk about the different forms of the lingam, wood, stone, metal, different names, and what are they for, how to use the Mrityunjay mantra, the different forms of Bhairu, that one who is called the Bharana, the protector of the universe. We say Bhairu, Batuk Bhairu, we know that one, but there are more. There are so much more for us to discuss. But as we are about to listen, as we are about to go into the satsang, dear Mahadev, thank you for the opportunity. Tonight your child is listening and I want to learn. I'm earnest. By your grace you have allowed me to come. Please bless me to listen. Put your hands together everybody and offer yourself as the prasad as we do Sumiran. Gauri Shankar Pada Kamala Prema Sahita Hiyale Shrimad Shambhu Puran Ke Bashara Chahushva Shruti Sambedanadi Shiva Samba Sachidananda Niraguna Brahma Vilakayek Dhyayami Sukhakanda Jahike Maya Paya Jaga Baupalan Layaho Swambhu Swambhu Jasubhalat Pavat Gauravadoi Tiniko Madhav Ravi Gana Desha Shiva Yutadyan Prema Sahit Kara Jora Kara Savahina Vahushesh Mata Pita Guru Bharati Veda Vyasa Muni Prema Sahita Kara Jora Kara Savahina Vahushesh Gauri Shankar Pada Kamala Prema Sahita Hiyale Shrimad Shambhu Puranya Ke Bashara Chahushva. Oh Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. As we enter, I don't know if you notice. I don't know if you notice. Do you know that in Shiv Puran, Mummy Baba says, sit around, everybody. Give me a note here. Do you know that in Shiv Puran, Mahadev Baba is approached by Lord Krsna when he wants to have a son? I know I read this already, it's on my YouTube channel. But just to recap, Lord Krsna this is after there was a fight between Jamant from Ramayana and Krishna Bhagwan, where they were fighting for the jewel that was on his chest. Krishna had looked at the moon when it was the Ganesh Jayanti, and he gains the unlucky situation where he's blamed by his own people. So, long story short, the person had a jewel, it went missing, the person went missing with it, and everybody thought Krishna, he wants that big jewel. He killed the guy. So Krishna sets out, he embarks to go and bring back the person. And in doing so, he finds the gem, but he finds it in the cave of a very ferocious bear. And the bear is that same Jamant. And in Ram Gita, when Jamant asks his blessings, he says to Sri Ram, Prabhu, you are my Lord, but I want to know if I am strong as you, if I am stronger than you. I want to test your strength. Please bless me with that. And Sri Ram says, I will come back and we will fight, and there you will have your answer. And for 10 days, 10 nights, Krishna, reincarnation of Ram, they fight in that cave. And when Sri Ram is ready, he reveals himself to Jamant that I am that same Maryada Purushottam. I am that same Purushottam. And I have come to grace you. Jamant, feeling very happy, he says, the only thing I can give to you as Dan, and I would like you to accept it, is my daughter, Kanyadan. If you accept my child, I will be very happy. So Jamanti becomes the wife of Krishna. And when Satyabhama, as time passed, Satyabhama has a beautiful son for Krishna. She sees and she wants to have a beautiful son of her own. So Jamanti now tells her husband, may you go and pray to Mahadev Baba, Shiv Baba, because I want to have a wonderful, powerful, intelligent, meaningful, look at the words, meaningful, effective son of my own. Then I'll be a complete person in my role as wife and mother. I would have achieved my duty, and in doing so, I will be happy. Please bless me that we will be able to do this. So as I said at the beginning, Krishna goes to Lord Shiva. But before he arrives there, he reaches to the hermitage of a Muni by the name of Upamanya. And Upamanya is the one who is going to guide Krishna how to go about winning Mahadev Baba's grace. He is the one who is knowledgeable. So Krishna goes there to gain the secrets of things like the Pashupat Vrata, methodology, different ways to do puja, different things are going to be offered. The person is the same, the goal is the same. But when you wish to have different things, for example, if I have a toe problem, does the doctor give me Ayer's medicine? Think what I'm saying. Same doctor. Your goal is the same. I want to be healthy. But don't you take the right medication? Don't you follow the right prescription? Because if you follow the wrong prescription, if you overdose yourself, the same medicine that could bring health brings death or damage. So likewise, our prayers is like medication to the different ailments that come in this life. We are guided to do the worship in this way, this time, on this day. Offer this ingredient. Maybe we're talking about Tarpan or Pinna. Offer it with your right hand, thumb and index finger. If you're doing jap, use the right mudra. You want to call Lakshmi Mata, make your hand into a Maggie for children. A Maggie. And sit and do jap. Wear the right type of mala. Hold the mala in the correct way. Sit on the kush grass, under your mat whatsoever. And in doing it the correct way, you will be able to get the appropriate outcome or healing that you are looking for. So then the next natural question is, if Lord Krsna, the great Krishna who guides and saves Arjuna and all these things, has to speak to somebody, wow, who is this Upamanya? How come Ganesh Baba? How come Kartik Baba? Nandi Baba? Parvati Mata? Nobody else. You know, it is Lord Krishna. Who is Upamanya? Tonight, let me teach you that discourse. Let me go into that discourse for you. And to understand why he is the one who speaks to Lord Krishna. Understand tonight his story, his path, and what a person can obtain by doing his worship correctly. Tonight we enter into the Lingam Puran, chapter 107. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Purupa Manana Sutta Ganapatya Maheshwarata Shirar Gana Kathalabhado Vaktanamasi Sangpraptyam Shivayati Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam Evam Kali Mupalabhya Ghate Deve Trayambike Upamanyu Samabhyascha Tapasvi Labdha Vapallam Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. All the rishis that are gathered in the holy field of Naimisharanya, sitting and listening to Sukdev Ji, and they ask him, Guruji, could you tell us more about this Upamanyu? And how is it he achieved this prominent position amongst the Ganas of Maheshwar? It is said that he had in his possession the milky ocean, Shir Sagar, the milk, the ocean that is consistent of milk. Kindly give us those relevant stories. Sukdev Goswami goes on and he says, Upamanyu worshipped Mahadev Baba and achieved the reward. That's the answer. In one shlok, he gives them the entire thing. But it's not enough. They want details. He says, go back to when Upamanyu was a child, born lustrous. Like if he was Kartik himself, born to saintly people. He spent his childhood playing in the ashram of his mamu. And in that, now understand, these are prayerful people, sage, saintly, look at their diet, look at their attachment to worldly affairs and so on. They are about prayers. And this child is growing up in that type of arena. But, listen to this part now. In his mamu's house, he has to drink a little bit of milk. He loves milk. He enjoys the milk. But Mamu's son, his cousin, Mamu's son, drinks a great amount of milk. He greedily drinks this great amount. Out of jealousy, one day the child speaks to his mother. Dear Swamini, great ascetic, dearest mother, please give me the sweetest cow milk, the best cow milk in the morning. Make sure it is a little hot. I bow to you, Ma. I pray to you, Mommy. Please give me that. Let's see what happens in the next loop. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. Upalali Tevam Putren Putramalingayam Sadram Dukhanta Bhali Lalaparta Smartva Gharvaye Matam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. When the son prayed like this, with all the humanity inside of him, with all the humility inside of him, with all the conviction that he wants milk, Ma, please give me milk, and if you give me that, I will love you. I will adore you. I'll be a good boy. In that moment, the mother embraced her son to her chest, kissing him at the same time, being overcome with emotion. Because the way he asked for it, he didn't demand it, he didn't throw a tantrum. Oh Brahmanas, the little boy prayed for milk again and again, day after. So she got up that morning, she got some milk for him. But then the next morning he wanted, and the next morning he wants, the next morning he wants more. Ma, you give me a little more. Mommy, you give me a little more. As children, you could imagine as children would do. The mother, having been reminded of her situation, her poverty, starts to cry. Feeling disgusted with what? If you were that lady, what would you feel? Your child is asking not for gold and diamond, your child is asking for milk. Your child is asking for milk, but you cannot provide the milk. The lady feels disgusted at herself. Note the family situation she's living at. Her brother, Mamu. Mamu is mother's brother. She has gone back to her family place. She's living there with her husband, and in this text it doesn't say what happened to the husband or in the marriage. But she's not together with husband. She's doing this on her own. She's a single parent. And as you could understand, financially, it's a little bit tight. It's not that he doesn't have milk, but he does not have the amount. It's rationed for him, given freely to others. And it shows here how the true sin, the true hell, poverty is hell, and that's what the song says. But these are praying people, Guruji. How come? Aren't they praying? Aren't they doing prayers? Did the money appear? Did the milk appear? Are they living in an ashram? Are they not vegetarian, doing prayers, year after year? See, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and no milk is coming. Nothing is changing. Nothing is happening. Listen to the next sloka. Pahi pahi Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana Pahi 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 Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana Pitva Chakitaye Traimam Shiram Matra Datam De Jotamaha Naitarakstir Mati Prahiti Matara Chati Vavyala Yeyaha Pahi 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 Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana Lambodar he Gajanana Lambodar Gaj Vicharana Pahi pahi Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. If you were the mother, what would you do? What would you do? The child is crying. The child is saying this thing and you are crying. Mother says, you know what? And the sweet-tongued mother collected the remnants, the wasted grains of rice, the paddy that remain when they are oxen and picking up, the little scattered ones that remain in the field, the one that has no value to anybody, the one that cannot be sold or cooked because it's just scattered on the ground. She went and she picked up those and she ground them into powder, mixing it into water, giving it a sunlight white color, creating artificial milk as it were. She gave that so-called milk, as she called with love to her son, and gave him the artificial milk so that he'll feel happy. He'll be contented. He's a child. After consuming a little bit of this milk, the baby gets upset and he speaks to his mother, "This is not milk." You know. The mother says, observing that what he had said, what else could she do? She leans forward and she smells his hair, kisses him on the forehead. And she wipes his eyes that are filled with tears. Tears are running down his face. And she starts to speak to him. In our Dharma, before we go forward, a person is afforded certain things in his life because of their prarabdha karma, their past deeds come to bear. In Gita he says, the soul that has done great amount of good goes to live in the different loks of the devatas. And after exhausting all the good that you have in those loks, if that is the way you lived, to be there, you come back upon the earth, but you come with all the finer things. Good body, good life, comfort. Never have to ask for anything. But for example, when people eat sweet things, like let's say barfi or whatsoever, and you don't share, in your next life, this is just one example, in your next life you're going to be riddled with poverty. That is just one example of one cause for these type of existences. For this reason, think back when your Baba comes home by you and the prayer has come to an end and they lift up the kalsa and maybe we take off the ring and you get your parcel of prasad. after we bout it, sit down everybody, Jai sit down. Don't we open the prasad and we feed the elders or the kids or spouse or whosoever? Share first, don't gobble first. Share first, give in charity. And in doing so, you will get punya, good karma. Here now, what is causing this? Is this child poor, financially poor? But as you will hear, with the parent, although deficient of the father, is the child not in a home where he's surrounded by a certain mentality, he's guided, and I want you to pay attention to the mother, because the mother is a critical fixture in this child's life. Because imagine the mother could have said, go and take it from your cousin, go steal it, go hide it, embezzle it, get it. You want it, get it. Pay attention to the words of the mother and tell me tonight, if you're on live, send me a text. Tell me what your mother did or would do in these type of teaching moments. She says to him, there's a river full of gems that flows between heaven and patal. Such unfortunate people who are deprived of the devotion of Shiv Baba could never touch those gems. Mahadev Baba, Lord Shiva, is the person when you show him love, when you show him devotion, anything in that river can be achieved. But when a person does not have the love or the ability to show that love in inverted commas, because it could be a flower, it could be fruit, it could be water, it could be prasad, etc. It could be time. There are some people too busy. I late, I can't buy flowers, but I'm working naka, for example. I late for school, man, I do have time to do the prayers. I do have time. In many ways, we are too busy for God. Such people, some could never achieve the kingship. They could never achieve the heaven. They could never achieve mukti or moksha, liberation. They cannot achieve food or milk without the blessing, the pleasure of Shiv Baba. Those people who always delight Mahadev Baba, they achieve delight and pleasure in their life. That's a funny statement, but very simple. How you fix your bed is so you lie down. Listen to the teaching of this mother. Hear what she tells him. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Shiram Tatra Kotu Smartak Mahadevo Na Pujitah Purva Janani Yadhyat Shiva Madhyamam Vaisutah Vaisutah Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. Everybody, Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Where from shall we have the milk? Where will we get the milk you want, babe? You want it. Where will it come from, son? All we have to do is adore Lord Shiva. This is the method. This is how we're going to get it, babe. You want that? This is how we go about doing it. Did the mother say steal? Did the mother say lie, cheat, complain, quarrel with the child? Anything. How will we get it? We have to adore Mahadev Baba. O son, whatever we give to Shiva in a previous birth, He's going to give us that now. He's going to reward you now. It is that Shiva who gives a person happiness, comfort in this life. Listening to the words of his mother, the immensely illustrious son offered his salutations to her. Whilst he's crying, she's crying, but he bows with his head to her feet and got her blessing. She is feeling very painful. You know, maybe in Hinduism, I don't know if you realize this. In Hinduism, God is real, and at the same time, sometimes a rough cup of tea to swallow. But I say that. In other religion, we have God that brings good and blessings and nice moments and happiness. And then we have the devil that brings pain, bad, everything that is, horrible. The devil is a busy man, that type of statement is made locally. But in Hinduism, there is no devil. In Hinduism, we have God. And we'll see that in our illustration, in our story just now. But think about it. Isn't that how it works? For every parent here tonight, for every single mother or father looking on, when it is the birthday, mommy blows out the candle with the child. When they get A's in tests, mommy is there. But the parent is there, singular. But leave it to that child to do some naughtiness, some wickedness, some trouble. Who punishes? Who is the person that admonishes bad behavior? Same parent. And God in Hinduism is in the same way. When you do good, God rewards. And when you do bad, God will discipline. Sometimes when bad things are happening in a person's life, of course it's hard to swallow, but there's a lesson to be learned. I remember I was running the lab some years back in a bottled water company, and there was this gentleman that, he's not a Hindu, but his management style and working with him, Egbert Awai, we should call him Eggy, he always said something that hardship, that in management, hardship, where some people complain, I didn't have this and I didn't have that and I didn't have the other. That hardship has a purpose, because from that hardship broods character. It causes you to develop as a person. Whereas if you have everything handed to you on a silver platter, for one, you don't grow up making right choices because you're never put in a position to make choices because you don't have to. Everything is right there. To get up and to go to work and labor, to do it the right way, to get up every day and do that, that takes a certain amount of character. To not to cheat, steal, or rob, that takes a certain amount of personality. And hardship, the need, is what makes some people great. People are not just great. Maybe they come from great people. Maybe they come from, people that have been in great scenarios, great statements were made in past, moments. But people have to earn that greatness. Only God is created, beyond man, beyond the ability. Purushottam, the one who is more than man, the one who is greater than the Purush. God is that. But what do? We develop, we grow, we learn lessons, we watch. How do children learn? They watch the examples of parents. For example, how my mother would pray, that is how I learned to pray. How my father would get angry, that is how I will handle bad moments. The language they use, that's the language I will use. If my mother speaks French, I will learn to speak French. As a child, my mother tongue. Isn't that what we say? Mother tongue. They learn by the example. And we all do that. In the Shishya Guru relationship, Hinduism taught, sit around good people be influenced by the company of good people, so that when they are talking, when they are teaching, when they are doing, you will emulate that. Karma says you work for the womb you come from. God wants to give a person, as we work towards different aims and goals in our life, we accumulate karma. We accumulate karma, and what does that karma translate into? The quality of mother we come from, the quality of home we are born into. How does it work? If you are coming from the heavenly regions and you go into a home, family, a womb, where we don't care if you're thief, we don't care if you're rob, we don't care if you just bring the milk home. As compared to your mother's coming into that home, mommy says, do not steal, do not lie, do not cheat, get up and work. Watch how your father does it. Look and learn. Daddy comes home and he says, listen, I don't want you to work hard like me. I want you to pick up your book and take your education so you will be better than me. The very platform that you begin this life with begins from where you're born. And that position comes from Janam after Janam of karma, adding up, allowing you to enter into this world through that lady. In doing so, Lord Shiva, in all of our lives, in one moment will reward. You'll get sick, you get better, for example. And in another moment, we will see hardship, we will see an accident, a robbery, the loss of a loved one. It is as if the surrounding energy, the all-pervading God, in one moment gives and in the other moment takes. But it is still God. What predicts, or what is the currency that allows to give, or who gets and who has to give up? The karma. Today, in our discourse, at this point, this child is financially poor, but parentally experienced, karmically very rich. What shows that? Look at the quality of the mother. Look at the teachings that is being imbibed into his little head. The person that has the greatest impact is thinking right. Listening to the words of his mother, the immensely illustrious son offered his salutations to her. Both of them are crying. She is feeling extremely painful, and thus, oh ma, don't grieve. The child is giving the mother consolation now. Don't grieve. In case there is some, because I haven't seen him yet, some Lord Shiva waiting for me somewhere, I am surely going to get from him an ocean of milk. It's a child talking, not a grown person. So he has to put it in his way. I'm going to do whatever, mommy. I'm going to do whatever to get my desire. I'm going to please him. Speaking to his mother like this, Upamanya offered his salutations to her. His first guru got ready for performing tapasya, prayer, as they were accustomed doing that in the ashram. Then the mother says, oh son, you go and perform your tapasya completely. And with the permission of his mother, Upamanya performed great, hard, ardent, tenuous penance, tapasya. Maybe arguably the mother is trying to occupy him. Maybe the mother is trying to put him to do something. But it is good. It is something good. It is nothing bad. And in it, he believes that because mommy said it, believe it. Like a childlike nature, he trusts his mother. Sometimes you and I, we go to pundits, we go to swamis, we get our readings, people tell us about different type of prayer. You listen to something on the social media, the television, you go to your Baba, and there's a source that is translating from our text, our God. Some people are clairvoyant, some people read face, hands, etc. And they will tell you, listen, if you do this, you will be able to overcome that. And then the problem comes. Whether it is an inherent laziness, whether it is because you don't trust the pundit or the prayers or even the God. But there seems to be, I wonder if that little Lord Shiva could help with prostate cancer. I don't feel so, I don't know if he can handle that. That little deer could bring about change in my life. My husband is horrible. When faced with different tests, who makes the bad things happen? God. And the question is, what are you going to do? Think what I'm saying, me and you, as I said before, when I have time, I go do the prayers. Right now, Baba, I can't do Shivratri. Baba, them children have a real hard exam, and you see that younger one, he ain't know how to spell maths, much less to do it. But now, right now, I can't do it. I need to focus. I wish you could hear yourself. In that example, I wish you could hear yourself. Because without God's blessings, I don't know how you are going to see the change you're looking for. And many people don't understand the role of their prayer. God is giving you the opportunity to do worship, and you are inherently choosing to rob yourself with all these false excuses. Because the children have school, because I will be tired. But the purpose of the sacrifice is to take out the negative karma, the prarabdha karma that is holding you back. You want to see good, but you are not willing to put the effort in it. Now, this little child in this discourse is going to do the tapasya, do the rigorous prayer. He reaches to the mountain Himavan and concentrating his mind, consuming only air. Some people might say that's intermittent fasting whilst he's doing his tapasya. The person is not consuming anything, only breathing in and out. Performs his tapasya. And because of the strength, again, the trust that he has in his mother's words, that he does not know God, he's never seen God. He doesn't know if God is there, but mommy says he's there, so I'm going. Sometimes we go to the temple, we're going to the puja, we're doing the prayer. But you don't have that belief, you don't have that trust that God is there. It have some people believe that God is only living in big temple. God can live in your house. God is only answer rich people prayers. And me and your prayers, He don't answer. People have some skewed concepts about God. But then we say He's here, there, and everywhere. He reached to the mountain, and there he did the devotion. But because of the favor, because of the strength of his prayer, it was very effective. And it starts to shake the entire universe when he's going, Om Namah Shivaya. Put one finger in the pool, the swimming pool, dip one finger and do it like that. And your impact is here, but the wave energy is going to riddle and transfer, having a wave effect wherever that water is. Likewise, the sound energy, the vibration of the atomic structure of those things that are surrounded as he's on the height of the mountain is vibrating and reverberating throughout this universe and cosmos. This vibration started to shake all the different loks, and even Mahavishnu in Vaikuntha is awoken by the ferocity of this shaking. Lakshmi Mata says, Prabhu, what is this? Mahavishnu closes his eyes as he's seeking the answers. And in deep thought, he understood that the cause of this was that on that Himavan mountain top, there someone is praying, and they know what he's praying for. So Mahavishnu, realizing it is a goodly thing, powerful but goodly, goes to the Mandara mountain where Mahadev Baba had settled down to do puja. Lord Vishnu goes there and he bows to Mahadev. And he says, Prabhu, a Brahman boy is doing tapasya. And he is burning everything. The energy, the vibration, the luster of his body is affecting even the mountain he's sitting on. May you go and give him an audience so that that prayer will stop. He is giving off so much heat, the snow on the mountain is melting. And all he's praying for is the ocean of milk. Listening to the prayer of Mahavishnu, Sadashiva, the carrier of the peanut bow, then resolved to go to Upamanyu. But he puts on a disguise to test him. Puts on the disguise of Indradev. Lord Shiva, devatas surrounding him, mounted white elephant, just as Indra, reached to the hermitage where Upamanyu, high up in the mountain as a little boy, set up shop and would pray, accompanied by all the gods, all the asuras, siddhas, nagas, all of them. Just as Indra, god of the heavenly regions, just as he would look with that entourage, just so Mahadev Baba is testing. He was moving on the elephant just like Indra, and Parvati Mata is sitting on the side as Sachi Devi or Indrani. Surya Dev stood over them with an umbrella covering their head from the sun, white umbrella. Sadashiva in the form of Indra, leaving the Mandara mountain, goes to where Upamanyu hermitage is located. Let's hear what happens when he goes there. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Tam Drishtva Parameshanam Shakra Rupadarang Shivam Ranamam Shirasa Prahi Munid Munivaraha Swayampati Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namam. Paramatma Namo Namah. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Upamanyu now sees Lord Shiva in the form of Shakra or Indra, and Upamanyu bows to him, thinking his hermitage has been purified by the arrival of Indra and all these devatas that are here. Humbly bows to him. Finding this young Brahman boy so utterant, spoke to Upamanyu very gracefully. Lord Shiva in disguise did. Whilst the young boy stood there with his folded hands, bowed head, he did not move, he did not jib, he did not say nothing. He says, "O Suvrat, elder brother to Dhamya, I am Indra, the god of the three worlds. I am adored in all three worlds. I am pleased with your dhyan and tapasya. You ask from me whatever you desire, and you would be given that. Now, if you are a greedy person, if you are a starving person, if you are a hungry person, and somebody says, well, ask for what you want, ask for what you want, and you're okay. Maybe if it is me, I would scamper and say, listen, I want milk. But is that what this child really wanted? Because his mother says specifically, please Shiva, and you'll get everything. So he goes about not really to pray for milk, but to please Mahadev Baba. At these words, Indra, the intelligent ascetic, said, I am desirous for the devotion of Lord Shiva. I don't want nothing else. I don't want milk, I don't want gold, I don't want clothes, I don't want spouse, I don't want nothing. I want the devotion, the bhakti, the ability to have that for Mahadev Baba. Tato nishamya vachana muniha kopi pita praptya prabhuha prahi nishamya vachana muniha kapita ye prabhu jaya bole baba tab sharanam. On hearing the words of the sage, the young boy, Mahadev Baba wants to press him now, as he wants to test him further, speaking as if Indra got angry because he's not getting his way. Oh, Dev Rishi Upamanya, you do not know me. I am Indra, god of all the Devatas, king of all the gods. Oh Brahman boy, if you show me devotion, if you worship me always, I shall bestow upon you everything you want. And in life today, there are people that come. When you read Vishnu Puran about Buddha, and you have to understand that Buddha is given as the 9th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. After Lord Krishna comes Buddha. But if you go to my YouTube channel and you find the discourses labeled there, there's a reason why you don't see the Buddha Murti in temple. He's considered, when that form is let upon the earth, Lord Vishnu makes a statement, I am sending you upon the earth, go and distract people from their dharma. Why do Hindu people don't bother with other religion? We don't condemn, we don't criticize, we don't convert. Why? He says, based on your parabdha karma, based on your past life and your accumulated karma, you are going to be born in a home where this type of dharma, non-violence, ahimsa, compassion, forgiveness, these things are the way, the regiment that takes you. In Gita chapter 12, he says, when you see the person that I consider most there, you will see those characteristics. For you to have those traits, you must be born into this type of home, and those things are going to become your religion. And when a person doesn't have that type of karma, Adi Vishnu you go upon, that was the name of in the text, they later would become Buddha. Go upon the earth and distract them with other texts, other religion, other rites, other methodology. Let the writing look similar to Hinduism, Hindi. Let it look similar, but not the same. And when a person does not have the criteria, the karma to come to Krishna or to Vishnu or to Shiv Baba, don't worry. Let them go to you, Buddha. Let them go to different religion and let them understand the weaker principles. One day, when they go into samsara and they come again and they come again and they come again, one day they'll come back to God. This is why Hinduism, Hindu people, we don't walk the streets and try to get people to convert. If you convert to Hinduism, we will give you job. If you convert to Hinduism, we will give you food. If you convert to Hinduism, we will give you medical care. We don't do that. Some people ask me, I remember my time, if I'm a whatever religion and I want to come to Hindu, you sometimes see it on those groups coming out of India. If I want to come back to Hinduism, what ritual? What do I have to do? But there's no ritual to convert anybody. Because again, we are not looking for numbers. This is not, okay, because we have 1 million people or 50,000 people or whatever amount of people, we are better people. When you think about it, it is like, and this is where you see the money side of these man-made religion. Hinduism does not dictate. You could give donation, you could give whatever you wish. That's your choice based on your karma and your ability. Nobody says you have to give a percentage of your salary. You don't become like a contributor. You don't become an investor in your church. In other places, you are valuable because of that. In Hinduism, the puja, the satsang, these things are used to get you from here to there. But in other religion, God, you are the highest as the ocean, wide as the high as the sky, wide as the ocean, but you could only live in the four walls of our place of worship. You can't live anywhere else. Whereas me and you as Hindus, we basically say God comes in every form, shape, color, creed, race. The concept of Hinduism is a little more broad. It is a little more understanding. It is a little more patient. We don't raise religious wars. We don't have a problem with women. We worship women. We worship them. We arti them. We put them. We safeguard them. But we have that female divinity. The natural order of things. The natural law. That is part of our dharma. How to cook. How to go to the washroom with prayer, how to bless a house, how to build shed in Panchak or not, how to do everything. There's a God. How to pray over your food, how to share meals, when to do these things. Everything has a procedure. And what you realize is, when you have that understanding, when you are born like this child into a home where it is taught to you in such a way it becomes part and parcel of you, then you're going to raise up with that inherent nurture, that not only genetics but the teachings that are imbibed make you illustrious, as in this case. Sometimes people are, it is as if, imagine in a lamp, to have that luster, you have the wick, you have the whole lamp, everything is perfect, but you have no oil in the lamp. Nobody took the time to invest to put the oil in the lamp, so there's no way the light is going to take. There's no brightness for you to carry on or to teach. If nobody teaches a child how to love, how to have respect, how to pray, how to be grateful, how to have proper manners, you think what I'm saying here tonight? If nobody says to this child, you need to have these things, who is this child or how is this child going to teach that to somebody else? For example, his or her children. Karma gives us not only the dharma we follow, how we follow. Some people are born in a Hindu home and they know nothing. They look at it as a burden. You know, the prayers, oh God. The act of going to the temple is a labor. For some it's a labor of love. I feel most comfortable. I love to smell the incense. I love to listen to the satsang. Everybody have their own likes. I like to taste the chana and aloo. Everybody has their own reason for being there. But remember, when you eat something that is blessed by the Lord, it is as if you are getting the blessings of the prayer. So nothing wrong with that. Think about what I'm saying. Tonight, Mahadev Baba is going to test him. You want to say a prayer to me? I will give you what you want. Is that what you came to do the prayers for? I will give you what you want. Will you stop doing your prayers? Will you give up? Will you... If you only came for that material gift, well then, anybody giving it, you get it. He says, no. He says, son, you don't know me. I am Indra, the god of the Devatas. Be devoted to me and worship me, and I shall give you everything. Let you meet with welfare. Discard Rudra, discard Shiv Baba, who is devoid of virtue. He is like, and for those of you who would know, those of you that have been, when it's Kumbh Mela, when the Naga sadhus are coming down from all their caves in the different places in the mountains, everybody with due respect, I feel the typical person might run from somewhere. Some only have the loincloth, some are naked. They're coming from very cold regions. I don't know how they do it. Matted locks, looking similar to how Shiv Baba is here, but basically naked. Because they have no attachments, they don't have no cell phone, and they have nothing with pocket to put the cell phone, put it so. No attachment to money even. But when Lord Shiva is in this form, just as when Parvati Mata was getting married, the mother says, oh my God, my daughter is going to marry, and he rolls in the cremation site. He decorates his body with ashes. He is not like our princess. She has gold and diamond, jewel. She comes from such an opulent home, and now she's going to live with this beggar, with this homeless, this person that nobody understands. He's so ugly. He's surrounded by goblins and all types of roaming souls. He is the Bhutnath. He is the god of the cemetery ground, cremation ground. Likewise, Shiv Baba is testing Upamanya, listening to the words of Indra, which were painful in his ears. If somebody says your God is ugly, your God is stupid, your religion, your religious practices are stupid, would it even bother you? Send me a message. Come on, everybody, write me something here tonight. The pain that caused his ears and his mind, the little boy, to calm himself, the Panchakshara mantra is chanted, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It kind of pushes that noise. What Indra just said, I don't accept it. Lord Shiva, I didn't say it. Lord Shiva, I don't think that. Lord Shiva, bear witness, I'm doing my prayers and I'm being tested. Somebody from the outside is coming to dissuade me from my prayer. Somebody is coming here to distract me from my prayer. I didn't do that. Lord Shiva, please. I believe that some degraded deity has come here in the form of Indra, and this is nothing but a test. Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam, Bahu Natra Yekum Muktain Mayadvanumitam Mahat Bhavantara Kritam Papi Shrutu Nidha Bhavastutam. Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam. Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. What is the use of listening to such a degraded person? By denouncing Shiva, you have only made his virtue higher in my mind. You have spoken of everything by denouncing Shiva. In this context, you have termed the God, Mahadev, God of gods, as the one who is devoid of virtue. It shows you have nothing inside of you. Who are you to judge him? You don't understand him. Tell me that. I think I must have done some, look at this child, look at this child. I must have done some bad deed in my earlier birth to have been born at this moment, to listen to the muddy water, to listen to the rubbish that is spewing from your mouth. Oh, you degraded Devta. You have termed him as devoid of virtue. As a result of this, I had to hear denouncement of Lord Shiva by listening to the denouncer of Mahadev, by a person, a devotee, listening to somebody break Lord Shiva's name, his discourse, his mood, all these things. That person should be killed. The person who listening to that, he is not deserving of the time. Remember I said God gave you time. You are wasting the time that God gave you. One should give up this form of devotion. One should give up this life even. If you use the time that you have to spit into the face of God by listening to the person ill speak, forget ill speaking your guru, forget ill speaking mother and father. This is the person who gives you the mother and father that you have. And some of us allow people to wail their tongues, wag their tongues on such people. A person who denounces Shiva from their mouth, that person in next birth, oh Indra, will not have the tongue to wag. Remember this. The person who uses their tongue to denounce, to admonish, to hurt a person's devotion to Lord Shiva. You know how it is. We've all been there. We've all been there. You have to change your name if you want a job for elders in Trinidad. You have to change your religion if you want a job in Trinidad. If we go to India, yeah, there's a lot of people doing how you call it, social work. A lot of people, many churches go to India to feed the poor and to help the infirmed and all these things. And what they don't tell us is that in order to get the help, in order to get the medical treatment or get your child into the university or whatsoever, just as they did in Trinidad, there's a stipulation that you must start church, you must come to our side, you must join our faith and give up your faith. What does a person do? Many people, like this child who is hungry for the milk, many people say, you know what, save my child. I'll go to church. How many times in Trinidad I've had to come across the father had to convert to get the teaching job or whatever in times gone by, but he says in my heart, Pandit, I was always a Hindu. My children may not understand this, but I am a Hindu. I know who I am. Have you ever heard somebody like that? And it is so unfortunate that in this world where democracy is bantered about like everybody's mat, that you see people taking stick and beating it. You know, people say for democracy to survive, sometimes we have to protect democracy. So if people are spying on you, if people are tapping into your phones, people are watching you, people are restricting your speech on social media, all that is in the name of democracy. Democracy also states that we have the freedom to practice our religion without fear, without persecution from other people. But for Hindus, that's not true. For Hindus who preach non-violence, look at the Hare Krishna society. Look at the feeding of the sick wherever they are in this world. That type of camaraderie, the love, the support, the strength of the Indian army, the people that serve their country, doctors, not only army, but doctors, nurses, etc. People that give their sweat and they believe that this is their way of using the time to repay God. I'm doing this because God gave me this ability. But Hinduism, who talks all about karma, yoga, and so on, we are persecuted, we are hunted as prey, so that other people can say, well, we had saved 5,000 heads. We have saved so many people from what? What we believe in, what we wish we could practice, without somebody saying, if you want medical help, you have to give up your belief. Is that really freedom? Do you really have a choice? If you tell a hungry person, listen, the only way you're going to get the milk in this example is if you change your religion, as Lord Shiva is saying here. This young boy Upamanya says, the person who does this, not only is he going to be reborn without a tongue, but 20 generations of his family thereafter, in the next janam, they will have speech impediment or their inability to speak. Leave aside the desire for milk. I am going to destroy you today for ill speaking, my God. Look at the strength, look at the fever, look at the fervor, look at the belief, look at the reaction. The words spoken to me by my mother. Let's hear what he says in his sloka. Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Pura Matra Tu Katintam Taradhvai Mevatam Sanshayah Purva Janami Kasmyati Bhirya Pujita Iti Prabhuha. Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. He says the words spoken to me by my mother were undoubtedly true. That maybe we did not worship Shiv in our earlier births. That when a person does not take the time to worship that lingam, not once, that person ignores the Shivratri, that person ignores the inclination to do his prayer, that person does Yagna without worshipping Shiv Baba in that Yagna, that person is going to be robbed of everything. Every opportunity will come close and then it is as if it run away. You always miss it. He says, I am not going to be able to get that milk. But he's going to not allow more karma to be developed. You ill spoke, Lord Shiva, and you're going to pay for that. And thus speaking, fearlessly, Upamanya, well versed in mantras, resolved to destroy Indra using the Atharvan weapon, different mantras charged with prayer. Thus, illustrious Upamanya took out some fistful of the Vasma, the ashes from his havan, and that heap of ashes sanctified it with the Atharvan mantra, threw it at Indra with a roar at the same time by the power of Lord Shiva to allow it to destroy him. The illustrious Upamanya concentrated on Sadashiva and got ready to burn his own body by that Tej, by the power of Lord Shiva. And finding the boy indulging in such activity, Lord Shiva, the destroyer of the eyes of Bhaga, Bhaga was a great demon and Madi Baba was the one who destroyed him, stopped that child using the Som Astra, stronger mantra, powerful mantra. Nandi using the Chandra Astra stopped the Atharvan weapon, the dust that he threw. That Atharvan mantra is used, so powerful, like fire that is rampant throughout the world. The world is burning at the time of destruction. The dissolution of the universe, this heat and fire is all around. All around the body there appeared streams of milk, streams of dahi, streams of ghee, different types of fruits, different types of edibles, cooked, prepared, fried, sweets and so on, fritters and so on. Food stuff, mountains of different type of not cooked but meals, things like sandwich and whatever. The merciful Lord, looking at Upamanya smiling, looking at the daughter of the mountain Parvati, then he looked at the boy and says, Upamanya with compassion, who was surrounded by all the Ganas of Lord Shiva, they had all come. Look here, O Upamanya, you can enjoy here with all the people from the Ashram, all those that follow you. Whatever you feel to eat, whenever you feel to eat, eat. Parvati Mata is your mother from today. Maya putri krito swadhyadataha shiro dadi swayam tap madhuna shiro varayam dhadyan shira evascha. You have been adopted by me today as my son now. Remember this. From today you are my son. Therefore, the ocean of honey, the ocean of milk, ocean of dahi, the ocean of soaked rice and ghee, the ocean of fruits, the ocean of edibles, cooked stuff, food stuff, baked pies, all belong to you. You are in charge of all the food. And when you call for food, when people come to your ashram and they are looking for food, when you bless them with that food, by my grace, your Father, it will be there. Pita Tvav Mahadeva Pita Ve Jagatam Muni Mata Tava Mahabhaga Jagadam Mata Tam Samshaya. O Muni, your father is now Mahadev. Who is the father of this universe? Jagatpati. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. Your highly virtuous mother, is the mother of this universe. Parvati is the mother of the universe. I have bestowed eternalship to you. Also declared to you is the permanent Lord of the Ganas. He was, before Ganesh was Ganapati. Ganapati means Lord of Ganas. Ganas are the helpers, the soldiers, the assistants, the caretakers of Lord Shiva. He was Ganapati. He was given this role. Now ask for some other boon. Don't worry, he don't have the milk, the ghee, everything did. This is a child we're talking about. This is a little boy. Lord Shiva is holding him as a father in his lap. Seeing the missing paternal love. He himself is giving that love. All the mamu, all everybody in his home ashram, they are coming to get to eat to their hearts fill as well. But babe, don't hesitate in this respect. I will grant you any and everything you desire. As now the Indra looking like individual has conformed and changed into Lord Shiva. And bestowing and beholding that beautiful face, this little boy, speaking to Mahadev Baba, Lord Shiva lifted him up with his own hands and smelt his head and then handed him over to Goddess Parvati. O excellent Brahman, tell the goddess what you want. Mother felt delighted to have her son. Parvati bestowed the fortune of yoga and Brahmvidya to him, and she's blessing her son. And Upamanya, on receiving the boons besides the eternal boyhood that mother gave, he would never grow old, but would always remain young. Praise Lord Shiva. Jai Vishnu, Jai Vishnu. He starts to, tears want to come from him. Upamanya adored the feet of Lord Shiva, bowed, and asked for a boon that eyes that would never have Rajagun, never see the mundane, never see or want to see the destructive things. Let me have, dear God, what is my request? Let me have eternal faith and closeness to you. And at these words, Upamanya, son of Lord Shiva, smilingly bestowed the desired boon on him, and then disappeared, leaving Upamanya and the rest of his family to feast based on the blessings of his prayer. From that day, he lived on that mountain in his hermitage. Years, many years passed, and Lord Krishna waltzed into his hermitage, asking and begging to have a son, where Lord Shiva again comes as Samba. The son of Krishna is an incarnation of Sadashiva, known as Samba. Prem Samapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Tonight, as I pause here, this brings us to the end of our first night discourse. This is the history of Upamanya. It shows, it illustrates the importance of our past karma, the value of our prayer in this life, and the changes that it could bring. So even just as he was, if you are given a harsh fate or a harsh moment, it doesn't mean that you cannot overcome and come out of that. He is born hungry in his belly, full in his heart. But via the virtue, via the devotion, he is able to achieve that desire as well. What will you do? Sometimes you and I have separation laws, financial laws, and we use that. Well, you see, that way God give it. That how God put it. That my karma, wherever do boy. Well, in my answer from our text tonight, Lord Shiva is saying, change your karma. Stop being lazy. Stop being don't put it off. One day we got pray now, boy. When things better, when I have the time, we gonna do the prayers. The prayers, yes, I know the prayers gonna help. One day we will do it. Don't only prolong and put off and complain, but you're not doing anything positive to bring about the change. Remember, when Prarabdha karma is bringing hardship, when you're hungry, Praschit karma, the fasting, the prayers, the offerings bring about the change. And that is what we illustrated and we saw tonight in our discourse. We have practiced Smaranam Bhakti by listening to the discourse illustrating the power and the grace of Mahadev Baba, and we'll continue from tomorrow night going onwards till Sunday. And then on Monday we are doing online using the Zoom app, online Shiv Baba Puja, using the Narmada Lingam, the Swatik Lingam, the Mahaka Lingam, using the 6 different forms of the Mrityunjay mantra, depending on what people have to do. We are doing it online, so it is totally online. So wherever you are in the world, send me a message if you'd like to join. It is based on scheduling. It is not going to be live on Facebook, but if you'd like to get involved, please message me. Those of you that have my WhatsApp, I'll put up my number later. Please send me a message so that we could work together and we could get this done. But if you put yourself in the position of this young child, we all have moments of test. Lord Shiva wants to see what you are going to do. Yes, you have a problem, and I'm not fighting it. It is not nice, but what are you doing about it? Imagine I have an exam coming up. I'm not complaining and crying the exam hard, but what am I studying my book? Am I saying my prayers? Am I calling Guruji? Guruji, could you tell me a mantra that I could say that might help me to become a little more maths inclined or English inclined, and I might be able to pass? What we're doing? Oh, I can't say prayers. Oh, it doesn't have time. There's no effort. There's no sense. I'm not going to get through. If you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And in this life, it's the same. Based on our discourse tonight, test is going to come. That is God's work to see what you will do, to put you in situations. Will you get comfortable? Will you continue to pray? Will you hold to your God? Will you hold to your faith? Or will you cave, depending on what's going on? Not everybody has that strong devotion. But as a teacher, as a pundit, my aim is simply to help you grow that devotion, to teach you via the medium of satsang, so that you learning about your God, maybe you get the blessings, maybe you get the darshan of Lord Shiva. And if He says you can do it, you will do it, and it will be done. Prem Solo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Tonight, as I conclude again, I hope you enjoyed your satsang this first night. And as we walk closer and closer to Shivratri, the members here at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram, all those students who are in their classes, we wanted to do this to offer something to the general public for the blessings and the benefit of all. And I hope you get in contact with me so that you could take part in Shivratri come Monday, Tuesday. We'll be doing prayers throughout the night into Tuesday. Anytime you have time, we have time, join with us. I'm looking out for your messages. Tonight, everybody, the mother of Purushottam sings, Auntie Sushila, it's her birthday. I want to tell her happy birthday, and Lord Shiva choices blessings to you, Ma. Sushila Singh from Gopi Trace in Penal, Trinidad. Happy birthday to you, Mommy. Many people are celebrating, some people are crying. Please, I encourage better sense to prevail in the local circle. It is as if COVID has disappeared because someone carnival, but numbers are going to shoot up just after. Let's please keep our level head on. Please continue to wear your mask and do what is sensible in terms of your congregation. Tonight, as we conclude, please send me your questions. If there is any discourse you want to hear, send me your questions and we'll continue with it tomorrow night. Please, as I conclude, share this satsang. I'm begging you for help. I'm begging you for help. I'm begging you for help. And send me your comments, everybody. Let's join together as we do final pratna. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prem Solomapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Pavanasutta Hanuman Ki Jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram, everybody. Have a good night and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye from me and Priyamata Sitaram. God bless you. Have a great day tomorrow, and we'll see each other tomorrow night. Sitaram.